In this video, I'm going to show you some advanced things, particularly for developers. If you're building a large-scale app or website, or you basically just don't want to repeat yourself, you want to keep creating little bits of reusable code. I'm going to show you how you can do that with a feature called Components. Now, on the left-hand side, you might have the add block, show me all blocks, styles, all those options in the builder. You want to switch this option right in the bottom left-hand corner from basic to pro, and you'll see we've got functional services, which you can learn in another video on the YouTube channel, or you can click components. And what I want to do is I'm going to create a new component. I'm just going to call it a card, and by default it's going to have this kind of div with an image and card body and a slot tag, and that'll come up shortly. It's also got some styles and some JavaScript. Now what I'm doing is I'm creating I'm kind of defining these new kinds of tags for my HTML. So if I click card here, you'll notice in the top right the tag is a card, and if I click that I can also change it to something else if I want to. If I click add block in the top left hand corner and I search for custom component, if I drag that onto the screen, this just gives me a HTML area where I can start putting things on the screen. And here, if I write card, you'll see that I get this kind of card here. I can write some text. I might write 1 and then paste it a couple of times. We'll do 2 and 3. You see I've got a card with some different text in there. Now if I go back to my components, here I can change things like the styling, and I can write 10 pixels, and you'll see that all of the cards get that. I can also say that I want the color of the border to be red. They've all got a red border now. I can also add props. So if I add a prop here, I could write the word color, and the type of that is just going to be a string. And then I can write style, or maybe go background color, and the variable color now means that if I pass a color in, you'll be able to change the color of the card. So if I click over here on my cards, I can now write color here equals red, and you'll see that one's red, and I can do color here equals blue, and that one changes to blue. But they're all just reusable of those cards. Now that's reusable across your entire page, and let's do something a little bit more exciting. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to create a new component. I'm going to call this a list item, and I'm going to add a new component up here. I'm going to search for our infinite content block. I'm going to drag that onto the screen, and you can see by default that infinite content is just going to load the next 6 events. I'm going to change that to be images, let's say, and we'll change the items to be 3 per page, so it just keeps loading as you scroll down. And we've got this repeating HTML template. I'm actually going to change that, and I'm going to put my list item in there, and you'll see, hey, there's something starting to come about there. And I'm going to go to my list items over here. I'm going to add a props of item, and I'm going to expect that someone's going to provide an item for the object. I can go back into here to my block, infinite content block, and I can add the colon item equals, pass through the item that's passed in from the infinite content, and then I can go to my blocks over here, and instead of having a slot and an image and things like that, I can just print out item.title, and you'll see that, hey, the title's spit out there. We've also got this where it says image. Now we can pass through the item itself in there, get rid of this v-if, and now we've got the image in all of those areas. And we can style things where we can say we want the padding and margin and all that kind of stuff. But now if I ever wanted to spit out a list item in any of my code or any of my blocks, I can just spit that out there, and all I have to do is put in something like that, and you'll see, hey, I can spit out these reusable chunks of not just HTML but even like functionality, so and styles, and it just makes your building blocks for the rest of your app and site really easy. And we use this across all of our apps to build really useful things where you can just update one thing in one place and it changes across the whole board. You're essentially creating your own Lego set that you can use to build really cool things.